investing safely, there's obviously risk and reward. Risk is potential for loss. Reward is potential for gain. Okay. Now, like this is the balance with any investment is how do I minimize this, right? I don't want the risk. How do I maximize this? I want more of the reward. I want as much reward as I can get for as little risk as I can get, right? If we looked at this as like price and value, the reward is like the value, the risk is like the price I pay. So I want as much value as I possibly can get at the lowest price possible. And that's the best deal with investing. So I have to look at these things and I have to understand these. Now, each of these is quantifiable. Here's how I measure reward. The first thing I look at is what is the yield, okay? What is the annual amount of dollars that I'm getting from this investment divided by the amount that I put into it. So if I put in, $100,000 and it pays me 10 grand, 10,000 divided by 100,000 is 10%. That's a 10% yield, right? And so that's the first thing I'm looking at is what am I actually getting in dollars? If it doesn't pay me a yield, I'm not doing it. Okay. Because I'm not investing for the fact that maybe it'll go up in price over time. Maybe I can sell it to someone else at that higher price, right? I don't want that. I'm looking for, again, passive income that exceeds my savings, expenses, and taxes. So if it's not going to pay me income, I don't want to be involved. So that's yield. That's the first thing. Second thing is compounding annual growth rate. What's the annual rate of return when I factor in the fact of reinvesting my yield? Okay, so if I'm reinvesting my yield, I'm buying more of the investment over time, it's going to have compounding interest. And I want to know what's that annual number, because that's a statistic that I can use, not really in the investment itself, but to compare it against other things, right? Like this is kind of a measurement of like a long-term opportunity cost of, okay, if I invest in this thing versus this thing, I can see the compounding annual growth rate. I can also look at it from a standpoint of what's normal, right? One of the definitions of speculation is going for an exorbitantly high rate of return, an unusual high rate of return. I could look at that compounding annual growth rate and say, okay, that's like unusually higher than what the market says. So that's actually an indicator that I might need to go do some digging and find out why is the compounding annual growth rate so high? Because that's kind of, again, it's an indicator. It's something I should look at when it's that high. What's causing that? Every one of these stats has a reason why it is. Something that produces that as an underlying activity. Okay. And then the other one is intrinsic value. These are the three things I look at as a reward: yield, compounding annual growth rate, and intrinsic value. Okay. Again, the yield, what does it pay me per year, per month in income? Compounding annual growth rate, what's the annual compounding interest rate on this? And then intrinsic value, what do I get other than money? When I buy this investment, what am I getting other than a rate of return? Because it better be something. I'm not just buying a rate of return. A rate of return is a commodity at this point. Okay, I can show you rates of return. Like you want rate of return, go to Bernie Madoff's fund before he got caught. Great rates of return, right? It literally doesn't mean anything in and of itself. So then I look at, okay, well, what am I getting other than the rate of return? If you're wondering, what does Wealth Dynamics do? How can we actually help you? Number one, if you haven't gotten a copy of my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom, grab one now. You can get that down in the comments in the video. You can get the link for that. Number two, we do a free course on Fridays on personal finance. Okay, you can also get the link for the description there too. And then finally, if you have a desire to start getting help walking through these different phases toward financial freedom, book a call with my team. Go to our website, set up a call. We're able to help out and answer questions. That's how we can help you. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you turn notifications on, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.